Dweeb, how many handhelds do you have like in arm's reach right now?
I don't want to answer that.
Wow, what is it like? It's like a Puyo Puyo, but in a shooter.
What?
Yeah, in a collaborative shooter environment.
This episode is brought to you by channel sponsor JSOX. Unlike other consoles and PCs, handheld gaming travels with you, and that means it's way more prone to damage, which is why JSOX designs products to protect all your handheld systems. This is the shock-absorbent storage case from JSOX. Because the Switch 2 is modular, this case has to be modular as well. It comes in 4 different parts: 2 back covers for your Joy-Cons, which make them more comfortable to hold, thank goodness, a back plate, which holds the front cover in place, and then, of course, the front cover, which protects your screen, triggers, and joysticks whenever you're traveling. But what if you take the front plate off so that you can play a game? Then your screen is suddenly vulnerable to scratches. Nintendo put an anti-shatter film over their glass screen. This is a really smart move because if your Switch 2 does get dropped and you don't have a case on, glass flying everywhere is a really bad idea. Unfortunately, the film that they used is soft and prone to scratches, but JSOX has really great screen protectors. They're super easy to apply and they look great. But my favorite accessory for the Switch 2 that I got from JSOX is perfect for people that actually play most of the time on the TV. This is a Joy-Con charger. It's flat, it's small, it's thin, and it is brilliant. The design is awesome. All you have to do is plug it in and then drop your Joy-Cons in when they're getting low. You can even see which Joy-Cons are ready to go when you want a game thanks to these little LED lights right here. JSOX has tons of handheld gaming accessories, no matter what handheld you prefer. So check out the link in the description down below, and a big thank you to JSOX for sponsoring the channel. Hey everybody, welcome back to the NerdNest podcast. I'm your host, Bill Fairchild, and we are going to talk about a lot of video game news today. I'm joined by, of course, my very good friend, Rich. How's it going, Rich?
Going great, Bill. Going great. I'm happy to be here. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I'm glad that it's Friday. My wife and I have a holiday party to go to tomorrow, and our grandkids are coming over tonight to hang out. So it's going to be a busy weekend for me, and they'll also be over on Sunday too. But I got a lot of stuff going on, and we're also joined by a friend of the show, Tech Dweeb. How's it going, Tech Dweeb?
Oh, real good. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Yeah, it's cold here. I had to turn off my my heat so that it didn't get in the background of the show. I know, Bill, you're actually not that far from me, so I assume it's cold where you are. Rich,
yes.
Where are you? Is it cold there?
I'm in Maryland. It's nowhere
Rich.
near as cold as you guys. He said Bill, then he said Rich, and I just chimed in.
Gotcha.
It's nowhere near as cold as you guys. It's colder than usual. I think today was in the late 20s, high 20s when I woke up, which was cold for me.
Oh, okay. It was, well, I speak in Celsius, and it was minus 16 here yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a little warmer today, but it's not warm. I had to go out this morning. That's why I had to schedule the show. I had to go get the snow tires put on my mom's car, and I had to leave the house to do it, and it was not fun.
But you survived.
Oh, barely.
Barely. Fair enough.
So yeah, does this ever happen? This probably happens to you, when you're trying to find a glove, right? And so you got your one glove and you're like, where's the other glove? And the time is ticking, you got to finally leave. And you're like, you know what? I'll just grab another glove. And then I got in the car and I go to put on the glove and I realize it's like a gardening glove. Oh, and it was the wrong hand. It was for the left hand, but I needed the right hand. And so, I was already driving, and I'm like, do I turn around and go back for the proper glove, or do I wear a backwards gardening glove all day? And I thought, the only thing worse than having a wrong-handed glove is admitting defeat. So I stuck with it. I chose the glove, and it was not the right answer. It was quite a day having to deal with that all day. I kept thinking everybody was looking at me and judging me.
They might have been. It was the gardening glove, and yeah, they saw that immediately, and they're like, "Who would wear a gardening glove backwards outside?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to walk around while the car was being done to kill some time. And I didn't go in any busy stores just in case there were lots of people that would see me.
So you were outside at -16 the whole time?
It's not quite as cold as yesterday. Yesterday was negative 16.
Okay.
It's still pretty chilly, though.
For those of you that don't speak Celsius, I don't know what that temperature is, but I'm assuming it's pretty close to where I was this morning, which was -3 Fahrenheit, and it's awful. I hate it so much. It's cold.
It's like when you go outside and your face hurts, like the sky is making your face hurt. That's not fair.
No, that's not fair at all.
That's not
I
fair.
hate that. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about video games for a little bit. And I want to start off with breaking news. Netflix is buying Warner Brothers, which normally I wouldn't talk about on this show. But then I realized Warner Brothers has video game studios too. So they own, they have NetherRealm Studios, which makes the Mortal Kombat games. They own Rocksteady, which makes the Batman Arkham games. They own Avalanche, which does Hogwarts Legacy, and I think there was something else that they made, but I don't know off the top of my head. Just Cause, thank you. And then TT Games, which makes all of the Lego games. So now all of that stuff is owned by Netflix, which has a weird subscription thing where you can like subscribe to Netflix and then play games, but I've never actually played a game. Like I've subscribed to Netflix since it was getting DVDs to your house, right? And I've never used their gaming thing. I don't even know how it works. I've never even looked into it. Have either of you guys like played games through and you don't even subscribe to anything, do you, Rich?
I happen to subscribe to Netflix, so I keep my Netflix subscription mostly because my kids also use Netflix. So like what Bill is alluding to is that like I will subscribe to something, but only like for a month or two, and then I'll immediately cancel it. So I it's rare that I have a subscription that I just hold on to. But Netflix is the one that I happen to hold on to primarily because the kids also watch it. So it would be a pain to like take that away and then find something else for them. So we just keep that. But no, I haven't used it. I remember Braid Anniversary Edition was one where like I wasn't willing to buy it, but like it was free on Netflix, so I considered it. My assumption is that it kind of works like Apple Arcade, right? You can download the game and you can kind of authenticate through Netflix, and if it's available in that library, then you can play that game for free. But I haven't actually tried it.
It's I do have a Netflix account, and I did try it with I think it was Shredder's Revenge. Is that one of the ones that was on there?
Sounds right.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. Basically, as long as you're logged into your Netflix app, you can download and play the games. But even that is just like. It's just such a pain. It's like an extra app. It's like games with launchers, right? It's like, wow, why are you making me log into your stupid thing? Like I'm already on this other platform that has its own authentication. Why can't I just, So, yeah, it's fine, I guess. But yeah, like you said, Rich, if if you decide it's a tight month and you don't want your Netflix, then you're going to lose your games too. And
100%.
It's hard to like buy into that as a platform, as a place to just assume you have your games if it's sort of so up in the air.
Yeah, especially because games rotate in and out too, don't they? Like it's not.
They do.
I mean, I'm assuming that all of the Netflix owned properties that they just bought will probably be in the catalog permanently. But they have a lot of third-party stuff in there, and I'm assuming that stuff comes and goes, and if you're halfway through a game and it leaves the subscription, then you're beat.
Yeah. It's kind of it's just such a weird business model. Like are they thinking that gamers are going to sign up for Netflix accounts because, you get free games, even if you have to pay to access them? Or is it just like a little bonus, a little icing on the cake for the Netflix subscribers? Or is Netflix just like, this is the future, everybody's going to be on Netflix. So that's where your games are and that's where your shows are. It's just, I don't know. It just feels weird.
I think that's giving them too much credit, right? Like even the questions that you're asking is giving too much credit because it implies that they have a vision, right? And I don't think they do for the gaming side of it. I think they want the gaming side of it, but I don't know that they know why, right? Like, is it for, like, to your point, is it for engagement? Is it for like having just more IP that they can use? I don't think that they really know. I think they feel probably like it's something that they're supposed to do. Like, it reminds me of Amazon Luna, right? Because this news is a little bit on the heels. I guess it's a few weeks old now of Amazon sort of saying like, "Oh, we quit," right? And I don't know if they said something that compared themselves to Steam, but like everyone made that comparison, like Luna to Steam, and how they were not able to break into that market, where Steam just has all of this market share, right? And I think the key is, were they trying? Like, what was the motivation for me to buy a game to Amazon Luna or subscribe to Amazon Luna? I know that there were and are still like free games on Amazon Prime, but like, why?
Yeah.
Why do I care about Luna?
That's actually a good service. The free games on Prime, it's nice. It's a nice bonus. I like that. See, that's why Netflix should do it. Is like, if you're subscribed to Netflix when this game is on Netflix, then it's just added to your account, and you have that now. That would be more likely to make me want to subscribe to Netflix if I didn't want to subscribe to Netflix, if the games get added to my account and I had them.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't have to worry about, oh, well, when this leaves the subscription, then I can't play it anymore, or I have to buy it. And the reason I think that companies like Netflix are doing this is because they're looking for ways to stop what Rich does, which is churn, because they look at, people get tired of paying the subscription, and so they cancel their subscription. But if they're in the middle of a game, then maybe they would continue, because it's very different than like watching a movie or a TV show. You can get that out of the way fairly quickly. With a video game, the time that you're engaged with that particular property is a really, really long period of time. And so that keeps people locked into that subscription over a long period of time, which is why we also see a lot of bundles happening, because you see, like, I'm just going to make up a bundle, like a Netflix and an Apple TV bundle. Well, there's nothing on Netflix right now, but on Apple TV, I can watch this. Oh, a few months later, there's nothing on Apple TV right now, but on Netflix, I can watch this. And if I subscribe to them both through a bundle, then I'm likely to stick with it. And that same kind of thing, I think, happens when they start adding the extras in there, like the video games or like Amazon Prime's thing too. I think it's supposed to be like the bonus, like you said, Tech Dweeb.
Yeah, it feels like a committee decision, like the higher ups want us to have games, and so this team that does the Netflix app is like, all right, we'll let your games connect, and this team that does the games is like, all right, we'll strike deals with publishers with the games and this and that. And then like the actual thought of like how they connect and how they feel to the customer, it wasn't the first thing on their mind, and they never really figured that part out.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, just going back to Tech Dweeb, you talking about like the games that they offer for free or, included as part of the subscription, is that like, man, even a free game isn't necessarily a selling point anymore, right? Because you have Game Pass, you have PS Plus, and you may have Humble. I have Humble, right? Like that's a subscription that I'm pretty consistently on. And so like a lot of people are getting games already. And so like a free game might not be enough of a selling point, or a game, that's just included in a subscription. I don't like to say free because you're still paying for it. It's just you're paying indirectly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the price of so many games is so inflated on the Android App Store. Like, I don't know if you saw like Red Dead Redemption, right? Like that's one of the new Netflix games. And on the App Store, at least in Canada, it's $40, or that might be US. Anyways, it's $40 in some currency. However,
for Red Dead Redemption 1,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah, it's like the remastered version or whatever, like the new one. Yeah, but on Steam, that's on 50% sale right now. So like And then there are performance figures of people running the PC version of Red Dead Redemption through GameHub and getting better performance than the native Android version that they bought that was more expensive. So like, I just...
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. So just getting free Android games when Steam exists and bundles exist is just it's getting less and less appealing, and I think it'll become even more or less appealing once effects improves and we're able to just run our Steam games on our Android devices, on our phone or our handhelds or whatever. Yeah.
Which leads us to the next topic. Nice segue, Tech Dweeb. Steam Machine today, Steam phones tomorrow. I got an article here from The Verge where basically they sat down with Pierre Le Griffet and talked about what Valve's plan is moving forward, is specifically with ARM. And there's a lot of really good stuff in this article. I made a video about the article. I'll leave it linked down below, but I'll also leave the full article linked down below. But the reason I added this to the show notes is because I was really curious. I mean, I already know what I think about it. I made a whole video about it, but I want to hear what you guys think about it, especially because, Rich, you're like a freaking engineer, and Tech Dweeb, you use a lot of Android stuff all the time. So I'm very curious what you guys are thinking about this. Rich, you want to talk a little bit about the idea of Steam moving towards the ARM as a target?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, shout out to Sean Hollister, who is like always doing great reporting on like Steam Deck and Steam hardware stuff. So this is another excellent piece on The Verge. I've been working on my own video about this before like this interview and before the rename. So if you don't know, Valve also renamed, not exactly renamed, it's now a fork, right, of Waydroid that they're calling Lepton. And so, yeah, before that, I was working on this video, and the video premise is going to remain the same after this piece, which is that this is another Trojan horse, right? Like Steam Deck was seen as a Trojan horse for Proton, right? Like Proton is the real thing that Valve is delivering, and Steam Deck is just a way to make it palatable for everyone. And so now they're delivering on Lepton, which I forget, is Lepton just Waydroid, or is Lepton their sort of entire ecosystem? Does anyone know?
From what I looked for like 2 minutes, and my impression was that it's their fork that they're now has diverged from Waydroid and is now their first party thing. But
yes,
so it's not the exact same, but it started as the same thing. I might be wrong about that, but that was the impression I got within my 2 minutes of amateur research.
Well, that's a good point, because I should step back, right? Like these are two different stacks that we're talking about, both contributing to playing games on an ARM device. And so the first stack, we'll just start with Lepton, is Waydroid, right? So being able to play Android ARM games on a Linux ARM device. And so that is potentially helpful for Android games, just games that you play mobile. But I think more so important to them right now in the short term is VR games, right? So games that targeted compilation for the Meta Quest, porting that is now becomes relatively trivial by using Lepton. You don't really have to port it. You just use Lepton essentially. You mean in the same way that a Windows developer wouldn't port their game to Linux, they would just use Proton instead. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. That was my understanding of it too. Yeah, I want to like, I don't want to go all the way there because there are some exceptions. There are certain Android APIs, and if you have like Android DRM, then that can be a barrier too. But yes, for the most part, it's going to be like using Proton. And then the other stack is being able to play x86 games on Linux ARM. And so that is FEX, which is the instruction set emulation or instruction set layer. And then in addition to FEX is Proton for ARM, which is the API layer. And so it's going to translate instructions for let's say DirectX to instructions for Vulkan, and then it's going to go through the FEX layer to translate the actual x86 machine code to ARM machine code. So all of that put together is sort of their new Trojan horse to, I think, break the oligopoly that we have on the ARM ecosystem, which is Apple, Android, and Meta.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, especially because it just gives them more places that they can sell their games instead of building all. I mean, yes, they are building all of their own hardware. I think that they're building their own hardware so they can show everybody else that they are serious about it. Hey, look, we're doing something here, but they're not. I don't think that Steam is going to limit it to their own hardware. I think that they're going to make sure that this is in the hands of Android developers all over the place, and they'll be able to, instead of porting their games to Android or porting their games from Android over to Steam OS using ARM. It's kind of confusing. There's too many moving parts here. But as there's just less porting happening, because I think Valve learned that when you ask developers to port to a platform that has a small number of users, they're unwilling to do so, and for very good reason.
Yeah, they learned that lesson the hard way with the first Steam Deck before Proton was really, or not the first Steam Deck, the first Steam machine before Proton was really ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's such a dream come true, just like the idea of being able to play your Steam games on anything. Like, I remember the last time I was on this show, that was just like what I was saying, was like, I just want everything on everything. I want Steam on my Android. I want Android on my Steam, like just Windows and all the platforms everywhere. And Valve is like, they're doing it. They're the one company that's actually seems to care about it. If we all benefited, I think the biggest wild card right now is whether or not how open source it will be when Valve releases it. Like say they do SteamOS on ARM, right? Is that going to be just a proprietary SteamOS that's for the Steam frame? Is that going to be something they open source that someone else can do the Bazite thing for our ARM devices and do that? Is it going to be an app? Will they release an app for us? That would be really tricky for Valve to do because there's so many different devices that an app can run. But if it's open source, somebody could make an app. We already have Fex. Like this is a PC game I'm playing right here.
Yep.
Like Fex is here, and we have Game Hub already. So like, yeah, I guess we just got to wait and see what the actual, final form of that is.
To answer your question, Tech Dweeb, in the article that we're actually talking about right now, there's a section where Pierre Le Graffet is asked, he says, is the ARM version of SteamOS a separate operating system? And he says, it's the same exact SteamOS components, the same exact Arch Linux base, all the same updater, all the same technologies, but depending on what form factor you're using, you're going to have different pieces of software that you want running or not running. So if you're playing on an x86 processor, then it's not going to download the libraries, it's not going to download the FEX stuff. If you're playing on Android and you're playing on ARM, then it doesn't need the Proton stuff. So instead it would then use Lepton instead of Proton. And whether or not it's open source, I think because SteamOS is based on Arch, is it Arch? Am I remembering that right? Yeah.
Arch Linux,
if it's based on Arch Linux, then it has to be open source, although they do include some software that you can't include on your own. So, for example, like it automatically has Steam included, and I think that like other companies, if they wanted to deploy a Linux distro on their hardware, they couldn't do it exactly the same way because it has like some of Steam's like logos and stuff or Valve's logos and stuff, and so they have to make an agreement with Valve at that point.
Oh yeah. I don't even need like another company giving us their version of it. I just want to be able to do it myself. So like if the community can step up the way they do with Bazite, if you install Bazite and you're in what do you call it? Game View, Game Focus. Mm-hmm. What's it called?
GameScope.
Yeah, GameScope. Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. It's SteamOS. Like you see the Steam logos everywhere. It behaves exactly like SteamOS. It's just all the stuff under the hood to make that a real thing. I hope that we can have the same thing on our once the community gets in there and tinkers with it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we will. The other thing I wanted to point to too, in terms of this being a Trojan horse, is the Gabe Newell's grand unification theory. So like, you may have seen that a LinuxCon 2013 video has been going around, has been making the rounds again. Shout out to Gaming on Linux, because that's on his channel. And
that's not a new video. That's a very old video that he uploaded forever ago.
Right. And it's just regaining popularity. In that talk, Gabe Newell talked about that it doesn't make sense that you go from your desk to your couch and basically your entire like gaming experience resets, right? And remember, this is 2013, so like couch PC gaming was a thing for precious few people, right? Like there were dozens of us, maybe. So like it wasn't really a thing. And so the notion was, when you're at your desk, you're using Steam. When you go to your TV and you sit on your couch, well, now you're on PlayStation 4 or Xbox 360 or Xbox One or whatever it is, right? And you completely change modes. Like you don't have access to a mouse and keyboard. You only have access to a controller. You don't have access to your Steam library. You only have access to your 360 library. And obviously Proton was partly a way to unify those things, but so is this, right? Like this is another place where it's like, oh, I go to my phone and I have a different gaming library. That doesn't really make sense to Valve, and it doesn't make sense to me either, right? Like I would like to be able to access my Steam library just like Dweeb is doing right this moment. I would like to be able to access my Steam library on an Android device or on an ARM device.
Yeah, when I watch what Tech Dweeb's doing right here, where he's playing the Marvel, what's the Marvel game called? Marvel what?
Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Cosmic Invasion. He's going to sell it to me today because I'm watching him play, and all I can think of is I want this game. But as I watch him play it,
so good.
It looks so good. But as I watch him play it, and I'm looking at it, all I can think of is it would be really nice to have a device that is that form factor, that is running SteamOS and has access to my entire library so that I can play probably not the heavy hitters, but the low power games like Animal Well, like Cosmic Invasion, that, or like Hades, or like that kind of stuff would play fantastic on those devices. And I wouldn't have to buy them from yet another freaking store. I could just buy them from Steam. And as somebody who has like 1,000 games on Steam, that is really appealing to me. I'm sorry, TechWeed, what were you saying?
Oh, I forget what I was saying, but like on the topic that you were just talking about, heck yeah! Like my video this morning, I just launched it this morning before this show. It's called I forget what it's called. I flip flopped on the title. It's basically like this is the Steam Deck Mini. Because we're at the point where everything works so well. You got your Steam library, you got cloud saves. All you need is a front end that makes it look sort of Steam Deck-ish, which is what my video was about. It was about how to do all the other stuff that makes this feel like a Steam Deck. This is my dedicated Steam Deck Mini. It's only got PC games on here. They're all lightweight indie games, and it is just so good. This is like what I wanted instead of the Steam Deck 2. I want like the lightweight, pocket-friendly battery, like a crazy battery monster, crazy efficient for my indie games. And we basically have that. So this is like a little glimpse into the future. And my question of the day on my Discord server, which is the best Discord server, second only to NerdNest, is this what you want? Like, what would you actually want Valve to make this? And if so, what are the limitations of that?
Let me ask you a question, TechTweet. When you're asking that question, would you want Valve to make this? Are you talking about the hardware or just the software?
But both, like a thing, like a product you can buy. So this is my Steam Deck Mini, I called it.
Yeah.
Would it make sense for Valve? Because in my video, I made the case that like this is what they're missing. They've got everything. They've got the gaming PC. They've got the Steam Deck for your kind of mid range stuff that's big. They've got the frame for your VR stuff. Where's like the pocket friendly thing, the thing that you can carry around with you all day? The Steam Deck is portable, but it's not pocketable, and it's a kind of borderline portable. I mean, you can take it places, but like sometimes it's a little too big to really just carry around, right? So it's like one of the reasons I think that retro handhelds are so popular is because you can bring your games with you when you're ootin' a boot, as we say in Canada, and being able to have the Steam games on these things is just like a game changer. These indie games, this is like my favorite way to play indie games on a small little pocket friendly doodad. So like, yeah, I feel like the Valve is missing an easy solution for lots of people, because this is just like a Retroid Pocket G2 that I bought this one and I just installed my Steam games on it, and I installed the front end, and it is so close to just a Steam Deck. It's so close.
So let me ask, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to ask Rich what he thinks. Obviously, TechDweeb wants Valve to make a Steam Deck Mini or a Steam Deck Lite or a Steam Deck whatever, a little guy. I don't think that they need to, because there's so many options out there for Android handhelds. I just want Valve to focus on the software side of things. So, Rich, you got to break the tie. Like,
oh man,
yeah, it's like, do you want them to make a little guy, or do you want them to focus on software and just let everybody else make the little guy?
I'm gonna make so many people mad at me either way. I'll go with they should make the little guy. I don't. It's not something that I particularly want, but I think I do see the market out there for it. I think one of the reasons they probably wouldn't do it, right, is because they're so averse to limiting the library, right? Yeah. And what I mean by that specifically is actually not the performance, right? Like that's fine. You see the Steam frame, it's not particularly performant, but input, right? So if they were to make a Steam Deck Mini, they would still want to put trackpads on it. I just know how much they care about making the entire backwards compatible library accessible to folks. So like, which is funny, one of your biggest videos, I think, is the best DOS games you need to play. That's something that I imagine that, if there are DOS games or early Windows games that are available on Steam, Valve wants them to be playable on that Android device nonetheless.
That's true, but there is a little secret trick that Android devices can do. You can have mouse on here with a touchscreen, and
that's true.
They can all do that. You can pull up a keyboard. Apparently, the latest version of GameHub has experimental Steam input support. I haven't really tinkered with it much, but I think it's more of a compatibility thing at this point, just for the games that require Steam input to be able to translate the controls of your Android device into Steam input style commands. However, you get gyro. You get touchscreen, you get AKA mouse. You raise a good point. You can even use a slidey around mouse instead. All you're missing is the trackpads for keyboard, I guess, the dual trackpads. But yeah, Valve's they're smart cookies over there. They could figure that part out.
Honestly, I don't think you need the trackpads, because when I've said this 1,000 times, I don't like playing games on my phone because I want physical buttons, right? And so when you play a game on a phone, it will usually have like the fake buttons on there and you're playing them, and that never feels right. But if they just put the trackpads on the screen and didn't put actual trackpads on there, and you needed them for something, when they could set it up, because like, let's say I'm using the trackpads for like a quick access menu or something that pops up, right? They could make it so that when I touch the screen, that menu pops up literally under my thumb. And then I could just navigate to the right thing. And then as soon as I let go, it disappears from the screen. That would be very interesting, and definitely a different way that Valve could put out a device like this that doesn't have the trackpads, because I know a lot of people, they couldn't care less about the trackpads on the Steam Deck. I love them. I use them all the time for stuff. But most people, I think they're just like, well, that's just wasted space. I don't need that.
Yeah, there's a couple games I have on here that do require, like on the Steam Deck, they are, they're not Steam Deck verified because you sometimes need to use the mouse and keyboard inputs. Just for like, one of them is you need to use the mouse in the settings menu of the app. It works fully fine with the controls, but you need to use the mouse. It works fine on here, like on a regular. Like if I was playing that on my Media Center PC and I had a controller, I would have been like, oh, where's the mouse? I need to click something. But on here, you're just like, you use your little on-screen mouse cursor with the touch screen, and it worked totally fine. So yeah, these aren't so different than a Steam Deck as they are. I think that's one of the reasons that people, they're so fun and easy to use, is people just do all sorts of swipey things and multitasking, and yeah. Yeah, they're so dang close already. It's just so close.
They are. They really are. And I got to say, since I got the AYN Thor, which last time Tech Dweeb was on, he was, instead of using this device, he was using the AYN Thor. And I immediately reached out to AYN and I said, hey, I want to do a review of this thing because it's so cool. And I absolutely love that device. I can't put it down. It is my go-to device when I have a few minutes to play something. And it is super pocketable because it's a clamshell. If Kerry was here, he'd be like, it's the best form factor because it's clamshell. And the only thing that I think it needs is just a little bit more power. Like if it had like the Snapdragon G2 Gen 2 Elite or whatever instead of whatever it has, like I'd be able to play just a couple more games on it. But the games I'm playing on it are awesome, and I'm having so much fun with it. And just watching Tech Dweeb play like Marvel Cosmic Invasion, I probably like, can you see the frame rate that's running at on there? Because I know that it's not a super demanding game, but
I could pull it up. This one's not super demanding. Like I do run games that just barely playable, but just like the deck, right? Like I play games that are barely playable on the deck just because I'm fascinated that I'm playing this AAA game on my little Steam console that lives in my lap. This is my little Steam console that lives in my pocket. So I'm even less critical when games don't run very well. So this one here, frame rate. What do we got here? Oh, hang on. Give me a sec. All right, you're not gonna be able to see it, but that is right. Oh, hang on, I can put it up to the screen. Where are we? Oh, it's backwards for me. That's running at solid 60 FPS. Perfectly nice. flat frame time graph. This one's running perfect. But this is a 2D indie game, right? So
yeah.
What's like the toughest game that you've run on your little Steam Deck thing? And by the way, there'll be a link below the like button to Tech Dweeb's video about his little guide here. What's the biggest game you've run on that?
Thank you. I don't run any tough games. My video today was about how, like, we don't go for the crazy performance, because that's not the idea of the exercise. The idea is that you got your indie games in your pocket. However, there are people running like GTA 5 on these things. The Red Dead Redemption, like I said, the Game Hub version runs better than the Android version. I don't think I've run anything particularly crazy. One of the problems with Game Hub right now is that you can't install your games on your SD card. You have to install them on the device. And so this little guy only has 128 gigabytes of storage, which is not a lot for when you get into big games, like
that's true.
Especially since the Android system itself takes like 30 gigabytes. So it doesn't leave much for the big games. But even though it's 128, I've got like over 30 indie games on here, and I've still got space left.
Well, speaking of gigabytes, this is not in the show notes, but you just made me think of it. Did you guys see the Helldivers 2 patch notes.
Oh, that was crazy.
I did. I didn't read anything past like the surface area where like, yeah, apparently they had a lot of redundancies and textures. Is that what it was? Textures? And
basically they had duplicated stuff. So a lot of redundancies, like you're saying, and they brought it from, do you remember the numbers, Rich?
I do. It was 150 gigabytes, and it's down to like 30 something now.
That's insane.
It's actually below 30. It's 20 something.
Yeah, like 80% reduction.
Insane.
That's insane. Like that, every single developer needs to do that kind of thing, because when we have handhelds, every handheld that I have comes with not a whole lot of storage. You know, like maybe like the really expensive ones will come with 1 terabyte at most. And then I'll have to go out if I really like the device, then I'll go out and I'll buy an M.2 drive for it and replace it in order to give myself more storage, or I'll buy SD cards in order to give myself more storage. But I wouldn't have to do that nearly as much if companies could make their games just so much smaller. And when it comes to console games, I think a lot of companies, when they're making a console game, they really do think about the storage footprint. Not all of them, but most of them, I think that they do. But as soon as they come to PC, they're like, well, they have giant hard drives. Why do we even have to bother?
We have infinite storage on PC. Why would they need to optimize when we have all the gigabytes?
Well, it sounds like they were optimizing just for something else, right? That with that redundancy, I don't know how effective that actually was. Like I said, I didn't read past it, but I was curious of like, how much does that help to have that redundancy? Does it actually improve, say, performance?
Well, actually, it was a hit to performance. I think that they said it increased load times by a few seconds.
Removing the redundancy.
No.
I think
removing the redundancy.
That's it. Yeah. But not much though. It was only like a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
So like, why would they do that? Right? Like, I don't know. I'm okay with a couple of seconds for that many more gigabytes.
Well, no, that's why they did it, was to reduce the storage space.
Sorry. I mean, why did they add those redundancies in the first place?
Oh,
yeah.
Because
if that was the goal, was to reduce the load time, but add, 80% more storage, that's just insane.
I think you had it when you said they just assume that PC gamers have all the storage, because we kind of do, I guess. Like I've got a 4 terabyte mechanical hard drive in all my gaming PCs, and they're cheap enough, but still, like it's just a pain in the butt, like to have so much stuff for a game. Maybe I don't even want to play that long,
Yep.
It's like I'm on Starlink. I'm on rural Canadian Starlink, poverty internet over here. So like it isn't even as much the storage. It's just like downloading the games and having to deal with the updates and stuff. Because the bigger the game is at a baseline, the bigger the updates are. Like I have 60 gigabyte updates for some games. It's crazy. It's not fair.
Are you limited to how much you're allowed to download a month?
No, it's just the speed. It's just not the fastest.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I thought that when Valve unveiled their thing where you could transfer stuff that you have in your house from one computer to another, I thought that would like solve that problem. But it's really, like, I've used it and it's stupidly slow. It's faster, for me, it's faster to download from Valve than it is to transfer over my home network. And I do not know why. Have you ever tried that, Rich?
I have. I think there are ways to tweak that. It's been a while since I looked into this, but I want to say there are ways to tweak that. So I'll look into that and I'll let you know.
Okay.
I do it all the time. It's a godsend for me on slow internet to be able to transfer at 25 megabytes per second instead of downloading at 9 or 8 or whatever the internet is going at. It's just kind of hit or miss as to whether or not it actually detects the games on this computer over there, and which computer it downloads from. I wish they would give us more control over that. Right now, it's just sort of like, set it and forget it. But what about when it doesn't work the way you want it to?
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, you can't like download from a Steam Deck. Like, for example, I don't remember if they've changed that, but like I feel like when it first launched, you could download from a desktop to a Steam Deck, but not from a Steam Deck to a desktop, for example.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I have 6 gaming PCs that are all, like basically always turned on. If not, just need to be woken up. And just I'll if I need to download whatever Baldur's Gate 3 on this new computer, I'll do the rounds of waking all the computers, and then I'll start it downloading, and then it doesn't download off my local network, and I'm like, what the heck? This is supposed to just work.
Darn it.
Yeah, every time I get in a new device and I have to benchmark, that's the worst part. Is I can't start benchmarking for a couple hours while I'm downloading stuff.
It sucks.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead. Talk to me.
The struggles of a YouTuber, the things we do for you guys.
So I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I saw this like right after I got home from work. Apparently, Tim Cain, who is like the guy who, like one of the guys who made Fallout, is like, he's been retired for quite a while. He has come out of retirement and is now working full-time at Obsidian, the creator of Fallout. I
hadn't seen it, so you shared it.
That's crazy. Like,
that is crazy.
I don't know how, I don't know if I'm necessarily excited about it, because I don't personally know how much he personally contributed to, that particular series. I know that he was one of the creators of it. I know that, when Fallout went to, was it Bethesda, a lot of people were worried, oh no, what's going to happen here? Fallout 3 turned out to be pretty good. So did Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 4 is kind of hit or miss, and Fallout 76 is, not that great. But I think it turned out to be okay. And I don't know, like, what do you guys think he's working on? Rich?
I have no idea.
What do you hope he's working on? How's that?
Whatever he wants, right? So like, okay. I'm a big proponent of that. Apparently he was at Obsidian not that long ago. So he worked on Pillars of Eternity. He was a co-director on The Outer Worlds. So perhaps he was only retired for so long. But yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, I haven't played The Outer Worlds. I'm not very interested in The Outer Worlds. I was interested in Pillars of Eternity, but I still haven't played that. So I don't know. Whatever the CRPG folks like, I'm here for it.
That's fair.
He said in his announcement video, he said that don't bother guessing. You're not going to guess, which makes me think that it's something new or something that, like, maybe some old franchise, but a new genre or whatever, like a Pillars of Eternity MMO or action adventure game, or who knows what, right? So he said not to guess, so we're not allowed to guess. So stop guessing.
All right, I won't guess anymore, but I will say I hope that it's something new. I don't want it to go back to the well for something old. Although I will say, Rich, I don't know how much you like CRPGs, but Pillars of Eternity, really cool game. I think you would enjoy it. It
looks really cool. I like them. I just, for some reason, I stop, and then it's so hard to get back into them that, like, I just... Yeah. So that's one of the things. I need to just sit down for 100 hours and play one.
Right. They're too long. They're way too long.
That's their kryptonite. It's deadly to stop, especially when you're at a tough part. And you're like, oh, I don't have the energy to get past this tough part with my life. I'll come back to the game, and I'll get back. And then you get back to it. You're like, not only do I forget how to play, I'm at the hardest part of the freaking game that past me, who was playing this every single day, couldn't beat. So now I got to start at the beginning just to get back to the skill level I was at. And then I do it, and I get stuck again, and I leave it again. It's an endless cycle.
Yeah.
I will say Final Fantasy... Not 16. What was the one with the 4 guys and they drove around in cars and stuff?
15.
15. Okay. So Final Fantasy 15 has a, like, relearn how to play the game on the main menu thing.
That is genius.
Which is really cool. And when you combine that with something like Dragon Quest 11S, when you stop playing that game and then you boot it up the next time, they give you a story recap while the game is loading, which I absolutely love. They're like, here's what's happened so far. And I wish every single game would give us both the tutorial to reteach you how to play the game in the main menu, and when you load your game, this is what's happened so far. I think I would finish a lot more games, because what happens is I'm playing a game and then new hotness comes out and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go play that instead. And then when I load up the other game, exactly like TechDweeb says, I don't freaking remember how to do anything. And so I just don't play it. I just give up.
I'm with you.
What about like a rubber banding thing too, where like it's easier for the first few hours? Like, oh, you haven't played this game in a year? Let's put it on easy mode on you for the first like day or two just to ease you back in. Like, that would be nice.
That sounds awesome, actually.
Smart ideas. But TechDweeb, you're now CEO of gaming.
All right. Prepare for some changes.
Done.
Leave comments below with the changes that you want President TechDweeb to make.
I will not be taking suggestions.
Okay, well, don't do that then. No. He said no.
Don't do it.
All right, don't do it. All right, let's take a look at the Steam Awards real quick. A couple weeks ago, we kind of went through and we made some like our selections for these, and I thought that me and the guys would take a look at the categories for the Steam Awards and just share the games that we would pick in that particular section. So, Rich, you want to pick a section that we can click on and see what our options are?
Do these have nominations?
I thought so. I clicked on one. Oh, wait, why is it black?
It wasn't working for me when you sent it. I assumed it was something on my end, but then I even tried it in a different browser and a different account, and it still didn't work. I think it's broken.
It's broken?
Weird, because I clicked it. I clicked it like last week because I had planned on putting this in the show last week, but we didn't have time to put it in. And I clicked it, and then it gave me options for like picking games, and I can't do that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just temporarily broken.
Were there pre-selections? So like were there already?
They already had things like listed there that I could choose from. Okay. Darn I guess we won't do that. And instead,
it says on the site, it's like scroll down and click the nominate now button, and there's no button.
Whoops.
All right, Steam, you broke something. That's weird.
Well, not the worst thing to break.
Is it? We can still see the categories though. Is it open ended? Can we just pick our?
Yeah, we could do.
Yeah, we could do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rich, start us off.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Better with Friends Award. Yeah, that's a good one because there were a lot of good ones this year. So I'm gonna name a couple that may or may not have been nominated in the Steam Awards. Split Fiction. Poppucom. I don't know that enough people know about Poppucom. Poppucom is like, what is it like? It's like a Puyo Puyo, but in a shooter.
What?
Yeah, in a collaborative shooter environment. So it's really weird. It's really good. And you could play with at least two people. You may be able to play up to three. I'm not sure, but I remember two. Poppucom is excellent. Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which Dweeb has been playing. That's an excellent multiplayer title. And then there were some other ones that were best with friends or better with friends. So do you guys have any thoughts on that? Oh, Peak was Peak this year?
Peak was definitely this year.
Yeah, so that's another Better with Friends.
That's the one that immediately popped in my head when I saw that award was Peak.
Probably RV There Yet too.
Yep.
Oh, RV There Yet too. What a year for Better with Friends. I'm gonna go with Poppucom just because it's so weird and left field. I enjoyed it a lot. So that's
what about you, Dweeb?
Oh, I'm a terrible person to ask because I miss so many big games that everyone knows about. I've niche taste and I don't actually play a ton of games. I'm a tourist when it comes to games. I'm going to go with the, the Labor of Love Award. And this is why I'm going to be a terrible CEO of gaming, because I'm going to shout out just like a little indie game. And the developer actually left a comment in one of my videos after I showed his game. He's like, "Oh, you showed my game. That's nice." And ever since then, I've been freaking obsessed with this game. It's called Dawn Folk. I'll pull it up. It's sort of like a 4X strategy game meets a puzzle game. It's got like tile placing mechanics, and you got to kind of noodle out like what structures to put where and how to structure things so you can get past the challenge of the level. But it's all 4X kind of vibes to it. You know, you have your town hall and you're putting out like fields here and a little farm here and turning this forest into lumberjacks or whatever. And then when you harvest ingredients, it actually turns into little mini arcade games. So if you're going hunting, you got a little guy on the screen and you go hunt and you're like shooting little arrows at these little pixel guys. Yeah. And it even says right at the start, it disappeared, but it was like, I poured my heart and soul into this game. I hope you like it. And I really appreciate whenever a developer does that, whenever they put a little personal message at the start of the game. So I don't actually play a ton of games. I'm a bad person to give any awards to anybody, but this is my pick. Dawn Folk.
Very cool. That sounds interesting. I like the art style of it too. And like, are you just going through the menus right now, or is that what?
Yeah, that was just the menu.
Okay.
It's got a lovely little story too. There's like this little flame character, and he's lost his light, and you go out and you find the light. It's very whimsical. It's very lighthearted. It's got a ton of heart. It's it's one of those games where you're like the gameplay is simple, but it's all like the vibes and just like the extra little mini lore bits and stuff that you discover that makes you like care about it.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. So here I'll hunt. Okay, I don't know if you can see on the screen. I'm going to hunt. Oh, this is probably terrible for a podcast, right? Because nobody can see.
Well,
there.
Yes, but that's okay. The vast majority of people watch it on YouTube anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that sounds really cool. I'm definitely going to check that out. Do you know how much it is right now? I'm going to check.
I do not. Whatever
What's it called?
is, it's worth it. Dawn Folk.
And
Dawn
it is
Folk.
currently $14.99.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well, I
with
just
a
added
demo.
it. Oh, there's a demo?
There's a demo.
Score.
Yeah.
All right. Demo's downloading right now.
Yeah, it feels like a retro, like it feels like a retro game. It's got pixel art, and it's one of those kind of retro. My favorite type of games is like modern indie games that feel like retro games. So this feels like a Super Nintendo 4X game meets like a RPG meets like little arcade games. It's all sorts of different things. It's crazy. I love it.
Dawn Folk sounds like a great winner. I'm just going to make a comment because I know the commenters are going to be in here. Apparently, Labor of Love is for games that have been out for a while. So, like, common candidates are like Stardew Valley, No Man's Sky, like that sort of thing.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it says the team is.
I just read the title.
I think that's
I'm a
the thing too.
headline reader.
That's the thing with Steam Awards too, right? Like you can still vote for Dawn Folk. I'm going to vote for Dawn Folk now. But it says the team is well past the debut of their creative baby, but being the good parents they are, these devs continue to nurture and support their creation. This game to this day is still getting new content after all these years.
Oh, okay. So it's a game. It doesn't have to be a game out this year, but a game still going strong this year.
Yep. So Concord. Right?
Yeah.
Did I do it right?
You nailed it, man. That was perfect.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to grab a category, and I'm going to say Best Game on Steam Deck Award. This game was so good, you wanted to take it everywhere, so you grabbed your Steam Deck and did. Luckily, everything made it endlessly playable at your desk, even got better on the go. And I'm going to say, I don't know if it's the best of the year or anything, but I have been playing a bunch of Absalom, I don't know how to say it. And that game is awesome. I really like it. And now I can't play it because my son saw me playing it. And on Steam Family Sharing, he's in the middle of a run. And he has paused the game and shut off his computer and said, well, I can stop it if you want me to. And I was like, no, that's okay. So he's constantly been in the middle of a run for a couple days now. But That game is really, really good. And he's actually gotten so many achievements in the past couple days where I'm like, I haven't done that. I haven't done that. I haven't done that. He has a bunch of different characters that I don't have. But what I have played has been really, really good and incredibly addictive because it's got this great gameplay loop. And then when you die, you're like, I wonder what I'm going to get. Like what things can I upgrade about my character before I go again? Tech Dweeb, do you have any games that you think are like the best on your Steam Deck award for?
Oh, I'd have to pull out my Steam Deck, I think, and look through them. Before I started playing games on retro handhelds, the Steam Deck was my main gaming device. I haven't stopped playing them on these things ever since then. But like, yeah, I'm just so into indie games. Probably the one game that I play on everything that I've had the most fun with, and especially on the deck, is a game called Drova Forsaken Kin. I don't know if you know that one.
No.
It's sort of like, it looks like an old retro game. It's got pixel art style. It's an RPG, and it has like heavy Gothic vibes. The game Gothic, the old PC game Gothic. Mm-hmm. It really, lots of people said that it reminds them of that. And I went into it with that in my brain, so I can't get that out of my head. It feels like a 2D Gothic game, which is a role-playing game series that I loved. The Gothic 1 and Gothic 2.
I want you to know, Dweeb, I am taking this very personally. This is now the second time that you've mentioned a title that I'm not familiar with, and I'm like, that's my role. I'm supposed to do that. So
I miss all the big games everyone loves. Like I haven't even tried Absalom yet.
No, that's awesome. I added that to my wish list too.
Nice.
Yep. I wanted to shout this. I haven't actually tried this game yet, so I shouldn't shout it out yet. But man, everybody's telling me about it. I bought it and I'll play it this weekend. It's called Sectori, and it is, from what I've heard. Sorry, I clicked the link and it just the music was blaring in my ears. But yeah, it's the best twin stick shooter ever. So like Geometry Wars style twin stick shooter, but better than that. Right now sitting at 96% positive reviews, with like 257 reviews. It's still kind of a sleeper, but it's starting to make the rounds, and a lot of people whose opinions I trust are like, yeah, I love this game. So I can't wait to play it this weekend.
What's it called again?
Sectori.
It's spelled weird. It's Sektori, because I tried looking it up as SEC and I couldn't find it, but this game. Awesome.
This is on my wish list. Yeah. I caught wind of this one. Yeah, it does look amazing.
One thing that I just noticed is while they were playing, I don't know if that was an effect that they added in post just because, for a trailer or whatever, but it looked like the whole level tilted. So it was almost like it was in 3D instead of just being top down. It was like the whole level tilted. I don't know if that's the way that it always plays, but this looks like I put so many hours into, not Galaxy Quest. What the hell is it called?
Geometry Wars?
Geometry Wars, yes. Yeah. So many hours into Geometry Wars on my Xbox 360.
Heck yeah.
Same. Yep.
This is right up my alley, and it's only $15 right now. I wonder, was it on sale last week? Because I probably missed out on the sale.
Discount, I think. That
that's
initial
not a big
10%.
Deal.
Yeah.
It's $1.40. Who cares? It's fine.
Buy it.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's in my wish list. I'm going to play it.
Yep.
Yeah, I can get behind that. The original Geometry Wars I played, that was like, the origin of my love of twin stick games was that game. And I actually loved the Nintendo DS version of Geometry Wars as well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you ever tried that, but it was surprisingly good with one hand on the D-pad and one hand on the touch screen. It felt almost like you were playing with like a keyboard and a mouse.
That's amazing. Random cool. Aside, twin stick shooters. I was working on the game project I wanted to do at that time, like around the time Geometry Wars came out, but just before, was a twin stick shooter. I was calling it Drawing Board, but like the board is BORED. And I was inspired by Smash TV, which is like an actual twin stick shooter in the arcade, but on Super Nintendo, it's like, the 4 face buttons and the D-pad. So, yeah.
Which, whenever I play that on my Steam Deck, I map the joysticks to be the D-pad and the face buttons, and it turns Smash TV into a twin stick shooter with real twin stick controls.
Apparently, on the NES version, you could get twin stick if you played with 2 controllers.
No way.
Wait,
Yes,
how?
way.
There's no
2
stick.
D-pads. 2 D-pads.
So similar to like the GoldenEye, right? Like GoldenEye had like dual analog, but with 2 controllers.
You need 2 controllers to do it. 2 D-pads. A D-pad on one moves your guy, and the D-pad on the other one shoots in 8 directions.
I wonder if you could do that with the NES Advantage. You know what I mean? That was the one that had the actual stick, so it could be actually like that.
Yeah. Hey, I guess it'll depend on if the game would actually support that.
Yeah. Well, moving on to something very different for what we usually talk about. TechDweeb sent this over, and I thought this was very interesting. He sent over a Google Trends graph that shows the interest over time of 2 things, one of them being video games and the other one being board games. And I was curious, how often do you guys play board games? I don't play them much these days, but I used to play them a lot more. And I have a bunch of very complicated, very expensive board games in the closet behind me because they're so cool to play those kind of games. TechDweeb, you added this into the show notes. What are the board games that you're playing?
Oh, I have so many board games. I don't buy nearly as many as I used to. Board games were one of my obsessions. They still are. I still love board games, and especially if you consider tabletop RPGs, pen and paper RPGs as board games. Then, oh yeah, I'm still knee deep in that world. But when I was considering starting making my channel, that was one of my interests that I was considering making a channel about, was my board games. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm not a tech expert. I just pretend to be. So I could do the same for board games maybe. But some of my favorites are, I love strategy games. There's you guys know Scythe. That's it's sort of like a 4X strategy board game. Feels like a Civilization, but in a board game form, and the world is like a Cold War Soviet with like mechs. So it's got this really cool vibe to it. There's a digital version. You can most board games have digital versions now, so you can play them on your computers if you'd prefer. There's a card game series. One of my biggest collections is this card game series. It's called Dominion. That's also on Steam and iOS. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's been around for ages. I have all the expansions. It takes up like an entire huge shelf on my board game wall. One of my all-time favorites is a game called Talisman, and that's another one that I spent way too much money on. I bought all the expansions. That one, when you set this game up, it takes up not just like your whole table. Like you need a big table because the main board. Look up Talisman, all expansions or something. Each expansion adds another board to the board, and when you play with them all together, the game turns from like an hour or 2 thing into like an all day thing where you can go to all these regions and do quests and go back and forth, and you're all exploring the world together. My all time favorite board game, real quick, is a game called Mage Knight, which is hard to explain. It's like a explore the world adventure style game, except everything from movement to combat to upgrades, all that stuff is all done with cards. So it's also a deck building game. You're building your deck, which is sort of like your character, and you adventure around and you build a good deck so you can fight better and move better and stuff.
The one that jumps out to me that I remember that I think that not a lot of people play is Space Cadets. And the way that works is everybody who's playing has a different job on the ship. It's kind of like you're in Star Trek, but it's not Star Trek. So you have like somebody in engineering, you have somebody in weapons, you have somebody working on shields, you have somebody who's the captain or whatever. And when you have to accomplish something as, like, say, the engineer, you have like a little mini game that you like a little mini game puzzle where like you'll grab like a bag and you put the puzzle pieces out, and you have, based on how long it takes you to rearrange the puzzle pieces to defeat the puzzle, will be how many bits of energy that you can then hand out to. So like maybe I generated 4 energy. Oh, I can give 2 to weapons and 1 to shield or something like that. And then if you are on weapons, then you have a different little mini game that you can play in order to target the enemies that you're fighting against in the game. So it's a collaborative board game, which those are my favorite kinds, where you and everybody that you're playing with are all on the same team trying to defeat whatever obstacle happens to be in your way. That game is really good. Although I think that like I had to watch a video to understand how to play it because it was very complicated rule set.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of fun. I'll definitely add that one to the list. One that I've played a good amount in the last couple of years is called Jaipur. It seems really hard to find like 2-player board games. And so like that was one of the top ones I saw when I was looking for 2-player board games. And it's like you trade and sell goods, essentially. And like you rack up points through doing so. And, what the name I wanted to say was Jaipur. So I've played that a bunch with my wife, a bunch with my son. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one. I have that one. I play that one with my mom. It's good. It's a
Nice.
good. Such a low barrier to entry. You can teach someone how to play in like 2 minutes, and it's always fun.
Yes. Yep.
Speaking of low barrier to entry board games, there's one called The Pit. Or Pit, just Pit, not The Pit. That's the TV show about doctors. Pit is basically the stock exchange. And so you have all these commodities that you want to trade with other people. And so everybody's sitting at the table at the same time, and you pass out all these cards, and you'll have like 12 cards in your hand or something. And they all have different things on them. And your job is to try and have everything in your hand be the same. So like I've got all the cheese or all the wheat or all the whatever. Okay. But there's no turns in the game. It's literally just you ring the bell and everybody just starts shouting, trade 2, trade 2. And so I'll be trading 2 of this, but I don't tell you what it is. And then I trade it with Tech Dweeb. He gives me 2 things. Maybe that's not what I'm looking for. So then I'm just yelling trade 2 to somebody else. And so like we just call it the shouting game in the house. Everybody is shouting back and forth across the table at each other as you're trying to get all of your hand to be all of the same thing. And then as soon as you do, you ring the bell again, and then you get the points for that round or something. Really fun, really cheap. And definitely a game I would recommend for anybody, especially around the holidays. When you've got extra people in the house, because it's more fun with more people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned around the holidays, because that chart that I sent you, if you see the spikes of when things are popular, the board games has a lot more spikes than video games, or the spikes are higher. And those are all in November. So like people are just buying games for the holidays. Board games, I guess, are just a really hot Christmas item. Easy to package and put under a tree, I guess.
Yeah, especially for me, who I can't wrap anything. If I wrap something, it looks like a drunken monkey did it. So if it's a square, I'm good to go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's great.
Yeah. Curious that like board games are getting as popular as they are, considering how, like, I don't know, it almost felt counterintuitive to me, because we're becoming so much more tech reliant, and we're all stuck to our phones and our devices and everything. It almost feels like you would expect board games to be going the way of candles and fireside chats or whatever, but they're not. They're becoming more popular than ever, and I wonder if that's sort of like a the more like sucked in and stuck in the tech mindset that we get, the more we crave like real things. Yeah. We like games. We like to play games. So we want to play games still, but like a real game that isn't online and we could just sit, sort of like a special thing these days. And I wonder if that's why they're becoming more popular.
Yeah, I can see that. A lot more like analog, right?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Bill?
There's a game, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, and maybe somebody in the comments can let us know, or maybe one of you guys knows, but it's from ex-Blizzard devs that left and decided to make their own game, and it's like it's like a tabletop RPG, but you put it on the TV, and then you play with your phones, where everybody's sitting around on the couch, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to move over here, and then I got to roll this dice to do this thing. So it's like a board game without all of the setup and stuff, but it's more of a social thing where you're like all working together. It's like Gloomhaven or Duskwood or like something like that. And it's
Gloomhaven is definitely the name of a game.
That's a different one. Okay. I know the one you're talking about, Bill. I don't know the name. This was like, you're talking about like 7 or 10 years ago or whatever, right?
No, this just came out.
Oh, okay. No,
just came out like this year or last year. Ex-Blizzard dev game. I'm going to see if I can find it. Oh, I can't. It's not Stormgate.
Gloomwood.
Gloomwood. Yes. No. That sounds right.
No, I just made that up.
Oh, that sounds right.
I'm just combining words, board game words.
Sunderfolk?
That might be it. That's not even close to what I said, though.
It's inspired by Gloomhaven, apparently. So there you go.
Yes, and this is it. You only need one copy to play, and then everybody joins during using their phones. And like this has been in my wish list for a while, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it because I don't know how much my family would be interested in playing this. You know what I mean? Because it is more video gamey, and they would probably do more board gamey stuff. But this definitely looks fun.
This looks awesome. Yeah, this looks really awesome. I would like to try it too.
I love games where there's a screen, like Jackbox games. I love Jackbox games where there's a screen and everybody's got their, because we all have our devices, right? And we're all used to using them, and we know we all have our favorite little devices. So like, yeah, having that as your controller and like a screen where you're all sitting around watching the things happen together, it's sort of like the middle ground, right? Of being multiplayer where you've got your own device, but you're sharing an experience in real life.
Right. We played Jackbox a couple years ago at Christmas, and one of the games that you can play would allow you to, like, you would draw a picture and then you would name somebody else's picture, and like it kind of did this thing where it built back and forth on that. And then at the end, they gave you the option to buy a T-shirt of the winning thing. And so I ended up buying that T-shirt for my daughter's boyfriend for Christmas because he had won and it was his T-shirt. And it was like this really stupid, like little drawing, but it was hilarious. And it was just, I really liked that moment of when he unwrapped it, he looked at it, was like, what the hell? Oh, I remember this. And I was like, that was really cool.
Oh, that one is so good. Yeah. TKO.
Right. Yeah. TKO. Yeah. Have you guys ever played Use Your Words?
No, I never heard that one.
No.
It's like Jackbox, except they will show like old movies, but there's no dialogue, and then you have to make up the dialogue that's happening. And so you just
love that.
Yeah, you just type it in on your phone. It's really good.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so my jam.
I need more of these. I need more, like, imagine, like, you know, you remember some of those 2-screen Nintendo Wii and Game Boy was the other one, right? Like, remember the Game Boy adapter for the GameCube? So like the Pac-Man Versus, it was called Pac-Man Versus, right? Pac-Man Versus, Nintendo Land. What was the other, what were some other examples? I don't know.
Crystal Chronicles.
Yes, Crystal Chronicles. I need more of that. Like, we have phones now. You can just do that. So I need more of those things.
I agree.
I added user words to my wish list. I am 100% getting this, and I really hope I can bust this out at the family gathering on Christmas.
I love it.
Very cool. All right, let's talk about the games that we've been playing. Tech Dweeb says you've been playing one of Carrie's favorite games. He's going to be upset that he's not here to talk about it, and you've already shown it to us a few times on screen. Mm-hmm. Tell us about this game.
Legend of the River King on the Game Boy. Well, I'm playing the Game Boy version. I think it's also either Game Boy Color compatible, like it's got enhanced graphics when you have a Game Boy Color in, or there's a separate Game Boy Color version. I can't remember, but I'm playing the old school Game Boy version, and it's a fishing game. It's a fishing RPG. So you're a little character in this village, and you go around and you're doing RPG stuff. You're talking to people, and this is like a village where everyone's just obsessed with fishing. And I hate fishing in real life. It's like that's like the least I wouldn't do that if you paid me. But in a video game, oh heck yeah, I'll get behind just like sitting by a stream, tossing a rod. What do you call it? A lure, a hook, whatever. You got the bait on there. So yeah, I'm not big on fishing. You can tell.
You worked
there's
it out.
There's like a story. You're talking to people. This one girl's like, oh, if you want a raft, you got to go get the lunch from my sister or whatever. And you go over there, and she's like, well, I can't make the lunch unless you catch a rainbow trout. And you're like, okay, I got to catch a rainbow trout. And I had to read the manual for this because there's a bunch of mechanics in it that I didn't understand. Very often with retro games, as you know, like there's not enough data in a Game Boy cart to explain how to play the game in the game. You have to read the manual. They offload that data into the physical printed manual, and it's part of the experience. So if you ever come across anyone who's like, oh, I couldn't figure that retro game out, it's like, well, did you read the manual? Because, this was one of those ones where I had to read the manual. But once I got it, once I figured out how the fishing worked, oh, I am so hooked with this. Pun intended. Well done. No, it wasn't intended. That was a lie. I'm sorry.
We'll never forgive you.
This is probably the cozy retro game that I've ever seen. I fire this up and I just turn off my brain and I'm just walking along this little stream. I'm working towards my RPG goals, and they're very light goals. I just got to catch this type of fish to get a raft, and then I'm going to go to a new area. There's like a little bit of combat. There's like crows that attack you and try to steal your fish, and you got to fight them off, and it's all really basic. It's just adorable. It's just super cozy, adorable vibes. And this is, awesome. It was on my backlog for ages. And I finally, every time I'd fire it up, I didn't know how the fishing worked. And I'd be like, I'll figure that out later. Finally did. And I'm so glad I did. I am, this is apart from like doing my videos and playing what I need to for my videos, this game is just like, I can't wait to finish the day and just go play this in bed and fall asleep to fishing. It's so chill.
That's awesome. Dweeb, how many handhelds do you have like in arm's reach right now?
I don't want to answer that. So many. I'm at my filming desk. They're all up there. And hang on. Okay, I could give you. It'll take me a second to count. Hang on. All right, so 5 in the immediate vicinity. Oh, I got my Mew Mini, of course. That's 6.
Of course.
And then up there is all my DMG style ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, That's 6, amazing. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then there's a shelf above for all the more powerful ones. I could reach that. 15, 16, 17. Okay, 17, but that's not where my handhelds are stored. My handhelds are over on the other side of the room. Okay. And that would take me a while to count all those.
No, you don't have to count them. That's great. That was perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You asked. I've actually got rid of a bunch of them recently.
When you scrape, for those of you who don't do like retro gaming stuff, usually what we'll do is you have the ROMs on your device, and then you scrape data from like Screen Scraper that downloads all that stuff. Do you scrape the instruction booklets and all that stuff so that you can just hit a button and have the instruction booklets pop up? Because I've never actually said yes to that.
Only on the games that I'm actually going to invest time into,
Right.
I'll do them on a game by game basis because those manuals can add up. Like if like I've got a lot of games. I've got like the complete collection of like I'm not bragging here. Everybody's got these, but like all the Game Boy Advance, all this Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx 16, arcade, like thousands and thousands of games. I don't need all those PDFs. That's going to take up more space than the games to get all those. But like for somebody who had like a really small curated collection, that would be a great thing. Like I don't do the videos either. You know how some people do the videos where it starts playing a video.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like those because because one of the reasons is they take up a lot of space, but the other reason is I don't like moving things on my screen. Like I find it too distracting. I got like a attention span issue. Whenever there's something moving over on my screen, vying for my attention, I can't concentrate on anything else. But like Legend of the River King, if I'm reading the manual for this, I'm actually playing this on my other device. I don't have the manual on here right now, but if I'm going to be playing on this device, I will download the manual for just this game on this device. It's so quick and easy to do. You can just grab the manual. Like I could just grab it right here if you give me a second, but
yeah, it's
just,
cool.
Yeah. I do those on a game by game basis. Not all of them.
Makes sense.
They are fun. They are fun to read, though. Reading those old manuals, like when you're starting a game and you read the old manual and you see like the actual scans of the manual. Oh, it's such a good way to get started with a retro game.
I like to read the old magazines, especially the old ads. They're hilarious. they're so bad.
Yeah.
Rich, what have you been playing, man?
Oh man, I've been playing a lot of different games, but the one that I've sunk my teeth into a little bit this week is Ninja Gaiden 4. I was holding off on buying this. It's one of those things where I don't know if anyone has realized this by now, but like Platinum is one of my favorite developers, but a lot of the key folks have left. So I've just been like, are they still any good? I have no idea. Ninja Gaiden 4 is a collaboration with Team Ninja and Platinum. From what I can tell, Platinum did most of the game development, but I'm not completely sure on that. Either way, the game delivers. It's really, really good. It's not like Devil May Cry 5 in terms of like production quality. So the production quality is actually quite low. But the gameplay is so good. I would say it rivals Devil May Cry 5 in terms of combat gameplay.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is that a PC game?
It is available on PC. Yeah, it's also on consoles, but I've been playing on it. You can play. I think I'm playing 60 FPS on Steam Deck, 800p native. I don't think there's any. Yeah, no, it's working. I haven't gotten to later levels yet. I'm still like in the first act or whatever. So far so good.
Ninja Gaiden games are usually pretty like small levels though, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's tight corridors and stuff. There's not a lot of long distances. So I guess it shouldn't surprise me too much that it's running pretty well on deck.
Yeah. Yeah. The level I'm in now reminds me of like a Ghost Runner type level in terms of like, yeah, there's a little bit of open space, but like it's mostly, you know where you're going.
Mm-hmm. So
is it hard?
It's Ninja Gaiden.
It's hard.
Yeah. Those games kick my butt. I've never gotten far in a Ninja Gaiden game. Not since the old Nintendo. I did have one. I did have the very first Ninja Gaiden on the Nintendo.
Yeah.
But once I got into the 3D stuff on Xbox and Xbox 360, every single time I tried to get into one of those, I noped out pretty quick. They're too hard for me.
There is selectable difficulty. I think they have like an easy difficulty. I went straight to hard. But yeah, they have selectable difficulty. So that could be an option. I don't know. Maybe.
Do you usually go straight to the most difficult level, Rich?
It definitely depends on the game. What happened in this case, I used to always go straight to the hardest one. That's bitten me in the butt a couple times with like Uncharted 4. That was not a game to go straight to the hardest level. I didn't like it. But what happened in this case was a friend had already recommended the game. He's like, no, this delivers. This is good. And I was like, you're playing on hard, aren't you? So because he's playing on hard, now I have to play on hard. I went straight to it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Peer pressure.
Yes, peer pressure. Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you guys racing to see who gets done first?
No, I can't. I wish I could, but it's just I've got too much going on. And even just games I want to play. Like I'm I am hesitant to say this on the air because as soon as I say it, I won't make it.
I'm going to guess what he's going to say.
What?
Marvel Rivals.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm hesitant to say this on air because as soon as I say it, then I might not do it. But like my plan is to make like 50 games you haven't like heard of on Steam, like for 2025, and have that out by the end of the year. But it's a lot of work. So, so I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Do they all have to be games that came out in 2025?
My goal is games that came out in 2025. I think I have 50
right.
and like, obviously you're going to have heard of some of them, but I promise you're going to have a new one to your wish list. And maybe some of them will be tech dweeb recommendations now that I have those.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Clock is ticking, Rich. You better get to work on that.
I know.
That's a big.
Sounds like a big video. Yeah.
Maybe 25 would be better.
It would be. I want to go all out on this one.
50 seems like insurmountable.
Let's go with 50, and if I nail it at 25, then I'll publish that one.
I did a top 25 retro games video once, and it was a lot more work than I anticipated at the start.
How many minutes did it come out to?
Oh, I don't remember. I think I limited it to like 30 seconds per game.
Yeah.
So yeah. It was still long, but like not that long.
Yeah.
My videos are very short.
I can't talk for just 30 seconds about anything.
It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to do about a minute. And so like I have like a few segments so far and each of them are over a minute already, but not like by a lot. They're like 70 seconds, let's say. But it'll add up where if I'm doing 50, now I'm talking about an over hour long video.
Yeah, trimming. Oh heck yeah! Trimming down my scripts is one of the things I hate more than anything. And it's probably the one part of making videos I don't like is cutting my scripts down to make them snappier and shorter and more like not repeating myself and not rambling and stuff. Because I tried to hit a time target for my videos. And every single time I finish my script and I'm like, well, I got to shave 10 minutes off this.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You should keep it. I think people will watch more of it. If it's 10 minutes longer, your audience is going to watch. That's my 2 cents.
I have in the past. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm too lazy. So I make a longer video, which is sort of counterintuitive. You'd think a longer video takes more work, and it does. Once the script is done, the video is barely even started by that point. I still got to make the video, right? So sometimes having a really long script or trimming the script down to a short script is really just for my own sanity, so that when I make the video, it's a little bit easier on myself.
That's a good point.
It's also for TikTweeb, it's a lot harder because like I can just leave the camera pointed at me while I talk about something. He has to constantly have something happening on the screen. Like he has to have because he doesn't do his face. So he always has to be like dancing or doing something with his hands.
That's good. I don't
know. The audience can't marvel at my glorious beard the way they can at Bill's.
That's right.
So I've seen TechTweeb's beard.
Else.
It rivals.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I've been playing the new Metroid. I know that TechTweeb doesn't play the new hotness games. And Rich, have you tried out Metroid 4?
No, not yet. Tell me all about it.
How far into it are you?
I'm very early on, but I'm already noticing some like technical issues that are really infuriating. Like I was playing last night and I was playing in docked mode. And this is not a spoiler. There's a character that you talk to. Samus doesn't talk because, silent protagonist, but like this character's talking, right? And at first I was like, it's 2025. They could have bought voice acting. Like they could have put voice acting in this. And then I undocked it. And suddenly I could hear the voices. And I was like, what the hell? Okay, so they did have voice acting, but what's happening is there's something wrong with the mix, which I have run into this with games on Nintendo platforms before, like Xenoblade Chronicles X, where you can't hear the dialogue over the music or over the sound effects or something. So then I redocked it. And I went into the settings and it was set to headphones. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's because I was on headphones and I wasn't using headphones. So I switched it over to speakers, and those are the only two options they had, headphones or speakers. So I set it over to speakers, and then it was like half of the dialogue would come through. So like the guy would be, "Hey, Samus, watch out." And then there would be text on screen that you couldn't hear. And I was just like, what in the hell is going on? The game is playing very well. The new psychic abilities are fine, I guess. I am enjoying my time with it, but the lack of polish or the fact that I'm running into that issue, it is a possibility that it's my sound system that's messing this up. I don't know, because I do have like a sound system and speakers, and it's not just coming out of the TV speakers. Maybe I have something wrong set up there, but nothing else is giving me this issue. But Metroid Prime 4 is giving me this weird issue. And I'm just like, how could it get past QC like this, especially after the game has been in development? Like, it got announced when the Nintendo Switch 1 had been out for 3 months. Like, the Nintendo Switch 1 came out.
That long? Wow.
Yeah, it came out, and then they announced Metroid, whatever, Samus Returns for the game, for the 3DS. And to make sure that everybody wasn't mad that they weren't supporting their new system, they also announced Metroid Prime 4 with just like a logo saying, "Hey, look, we're working on this." And it's been since then. And now the game is out, and there's that kind of technical issue. I'm like, come on, Nintendo, what in the hell is happening here?
It doesn't seem to be just you. Just did a quick Google, and yeah, there are people complaining about no voice audio in cutscenes or low voice audio. So it doesn't seem to be just you, and yeah, that is surprising that got through QC, as you said. And this seems like a rough launch. Just thinking for the entire Switch 2, right? Like Switch 2, Mario Kart World. What was the other game that came out?
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was good.
Although this is not a Switch 2 game, it's a Switch 1 game.
So there's no. Is there?
Well, I mean, it has the extra, like, it has some enhancements that you can buy for $10. I bought the Switch 2 version, but it is just a Switch 1 game.
Got it. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, that sucks. That's too bad.
It's
an 80 right now on Metacritic. I don't understand how it's an 80 on Metacritic when the sound doesn't even come through. Like, that's bananas to me.
From what I've seen, the reviews are all over the place. Some love it, and some really don't. Nobody hates it, I think. But
I don't hate it. I'm having fun.
I feel like lots of it is expectation. Like how much, like I was kind of, to be honest, I was kind of disappointed when I didn't care about it, and then when I saw the first screenshots and I found out that it was open world, I was like, yes, okay, I'm in. And then when I learned the open world is just the desert section and it's all on the motorcycle, and that those beautiful screenshots are not the open world, those are like linear levels, Metroid Prime style, my excitement went away. So yeah, I don't even know how I'll feel about it when I finally get around to it, but I'm not in a rush for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't rush. I would definitely wait for patches before, like, hopefully they patch it. They never patched Xenoblade Chronicles X, and that had awful audio issues. Right.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they did fix it when they did the remaster, but I don't want to wait for Metroid Prime 4 remastered in 2 years or something.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. The last thing that I want to talk about before we get out of here is I posted over on the my YouTube channel, youtube.com/nerdnest. And when I posted, it was not very long ago. So people have not had very long to reply because I did not think of this until today. So I basically posted another true or false because I love I really like this segment that people are sending in comments for us to talk about. So Rich, why don't you grab a true or false from the comments and we'll discuss it for a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to pick two if I can find them because they're both related. So Banjo9519 says, true or false, Steam Machine will have a bring your own RAM version. And then Daniel 228, I'm omitting a part of that username, says true or false, in the future, all graphic cards will be sold without RAM. So both of those obviously, wait, have you not heard of the graphic cards thing?
Without RAM?
Yeah. VRAM.
No VRAM.
So this is a thing. This is a thing. Was it that NVIDIA said this? Dweeb, do you remember? Because you're saying, yeah. Do you remember that? I want to say NVIDIA said something to this effect.
I think it's being talked about at every level.
Yeah. So yeah, just due to the continuing RAM prices just going way, way up, there has been speculation that graphics cards will be sold without VRAM, or at least the manufacturer version. So like maybe a third party OEM may have it with RAM, but like the kind of base unit might not have VRAM. And then I think it was from Moore's Law is Dead, where he speculated if Valve hasn't bought enough RAM, stockpiled it, that they may sell a bring your own RAM version. I think for Valve, I would find that incredibly unlikely. I would think that their goal, even if it's not soldered on, their goal is as much as possible to sell you a complete product. They'd rather, sell it at a higher price and just sell fewer units than, sell a bring your own RAM version. That's just my speculation, based on how I think Valve operates. What NVIDIA will do, God knows. they may very well sell graphics cards without VRAM.
Yeah.
I would be A-okay
when I think about Valve, they've got thousands of these, if not a million of these, sitting in a warehouse somewhere. They've already bought all of this stuff they've been buying it for a while now to build this. It's not like the hardware that's in the Steam machine is state of the art stuff, So they've probably been buying this stuff for a really long time to get it stockpiled so that when they are ready to ship, they have lots of them to ship. It's not like they started, building these things when they announced it. So I think they're probably insulated from the RAM prices for now.
You would think so. I would think so as well. I found kind of the claim here, and this is from Tom's Hardware. It says NVIDIA reportedly no longer supplying VRAM to its GPU board partners in response to memory crunch. So basically, the GPU board partners, the OEMs, are going to have to supply their own VRAM if this is true.
But there's no way for an end user to put RAM on a GPU, right?
No, this would have to be
on.
Yeah, this would have to be the OEMs that are doing it. So like ASRock and Asus and whoever is selling the actual GPU.
So I'm going to say false. They're not going to be selling them. I mean, to customers. End. How do I?
Yeah, end users, like
end
consumers.
Users,
Let's say customers versus consumers. They're not going to sell it to consumers without VRAM.
I agree with that. Tech Dweeb, true or false? What do you think?
Yeah. I can see it going both ways. It's sort of like it's a tricky thing to comment on because it feels like this RAM shortage is here to stay, but who knows, right? Like the AI usage 100%. Stuff, and it's like we couldn't have predicted this, like a RAM shortage, like a year ago. Like it didn't feel like there would be any RAM shortage, but here we are. And it's changing so fast and priorities are changing. It's just, it just feels weird to make a prediction. I don't see why we couldn't have GPUs with add on your own VRAM. I would actually be totally fine with that. I would love that. Be able to buy my GPU and add on the RAM, not solder it, obviously.
Right.
But have hot swappable RAM.
A new interface. Like old GPUs used to do that back in the day. You could add on, RAM to, you had a car, like the GPU would become a daughter board, right? Like you would be able to put the GPU in there and then put other things inside it. If that would let me upgrade my GPU down the road, heck yeah. Oh, I could get behind that for sure. Whatever the solution is for the RAM shortage, it might be a temporary solution or it might be here to stay. And it's hard to picture what the solution actually is.
I think the solution is to make more RAM, but these companies don't want to make more RAM because right now the prices are really high. If they make more RAM, then the price will come down. Right now they're making so much money selling RAM to these AI companies. I don't see them. I think they're afraid to increase production because they're afraid the bubble will burst and they'll be stuck with, millions of RAM chips sitting in a warehouse someplace just collecting dust.
Yeah, in some ways, it's like you heard that Crucial is getting out of the customer market, the consumer market, I should say, and in lots of ways, it's a much safer bet to work business to business because then you just have a contract. If you're contracting this much, then we know we can make this much and make this much money or whatever. I think the fact that they're getting out of the consumer business is kind of a sign that they're not really confident in how things are going to go. It could go lots of different ways. They don't think it's going to go bad for consumers. It's more like they just want to take the safe bet because who knows what the heck next year is going to look like or the year after that. I know that lots of gamers are panic buying RAM right now. Like one of the reasons that customer RAM is so expensive, it's like the GPU thing was during COVID and the first wave of the crypto, the crypto mining. People they were worried they wouldn't be able to get their GPU, so they bought their GPU, and all of a sudden everybody's buying their RAM. If you look on like the PC Builder subreddit, why is the RAM so expensive? And it's just full of people like, yeah, I was worried it was going to go even higher, so I just pushed my build I was going to build it next year, but I just decided to go for it this year just before the RAM got even worse.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really insane. And you raised some good points, a whole bunch of good points, but I do think one that resonates with me is just like, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, right? And we can try to speculate. It does feel, like you said, like this is, let's say, permanent. But we really don't know. Maybe there are going to be places or corporations that fill in that void for consumers and do make more RAM. But we just have to kind of wait and see, I would say. That's my thought.
All right, I'm going to grab a comment out of the true and false things, and I'm going to go with this one. True or false, this one comes from Kenifus. The next Steam Deck will be on ARM. And I'm going to say false to that. I don't think that the next Steam Deck will be on ARM. However, I think that the next Steam Deck, and we won't say 3 for obvious reasons, I think that the Steam Deck after that might be on ARM. I just think it's too soon for ARM to be the dedicated handheld from Valve. But what do you guys think? TechDweeb, do you think the next Steam Deck is going to be on ARM, or do you think it'll still be x86?
No, I feel like time will tell. We don't know what ARM processors are going to be able to do in the future, but I don't see ARM beating out x86 at the high end. And the Steam Deck needs to be that mid-range to high end. Like the Steam Deck is your one size fits all. Play your AAA games as long as they're well optimized, with the limitations, 30 FPS or whatever, and play all your indie games. It's like it can do it all. And they're like the best ARM chips right now are super impressive for what they are. Like the fact that you're playing whatever GTA 5 or Cyberpunk on a phone is just crazy. But like it doesn't beat a Steam Deck right now. And like it's not going to beat a Z2 Extreme or whatever in the Xbox Ally X. And that's what the Steam Deck 2 is going to need to beat. So yeah, I don't see ARM pushing towards the high end, pushing into x86's territory. But I don't know about that kind of stuff. I don't know what developments are going on. I don't keep my my finger on the pulse of the ARM development world. So yeah, doesn't feel likely to me though.
I'm with both of you. I think that there's a chance, like we were talking about earlier, that like Valve releases some sort of ARM-based portable handheld device. but I don't think it'll be the quote unquote Steam Deck 2. That's where I would hedge on that.
Well, what about like the Nintendo Switch 2? That's an ARM-based device, and it's playing games like Cyberpunk 2077. Like, it's pretty powerful, and I mean, it's not as powerful as other things, but like, it's playing modern games on that. The only difference is that those modern games are made for that chipset instead of for x86. Do you think that pushes the needle at all, or do you think there's just too much x86 out there and FX isn't ready to...
I think there's too much x80. That's my thought. Is too much x86 out there. It's not necessarily that FX isn't ready. It's just it's not going to be native x86. It takes a lot to get there. Even I know I've seen a lot of people like point to Rosetta benchmarks and say like, oh, this outperforms native, but it only outperforms native for like really small scope, like memory operations. It doesn't outperform native for like CPU bound operations. And that's, I just don't see it happening within the next few years. By the time there's a quote unquote Steam Deck 2. That's my thought.
Fair.
One of the best things about ARM chips right now isn't that top end power. It's the power efficiency and the scaling. How low you can run very lightweight stuff and just sip the power. That's why they're great for phones and stuff, right? So, in theory, like I'd be like if they could get the power there and also get the benefits of the power efficiency at the low end. Heck yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
All right, we are running up against a deadline, so we're going to have to wrap up very soon. But Tech Dweeb, can you pick one very quick topic out of the true or false, and we'll hit it fast?
I got a quick one. All right.
I knew you would.
We don't need photorealistic graphics in video games. Do you want me to go first or last?
Go first.
All right. We do not need photorealistic graphics in video games. I think the more realistic it is, the more impressive it is today, but the worse it ages. And you got to go for timeless art that persists through the generations, regardless of the hardware. If you want it to, the best games always did this. So yeah, that's what I go with.
Rich?
You know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
I want shorter games with worse graphics made by people who are paid more to work less, and I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. I saw another comment in there where somebody was like, we don't need anything beyond early PS4 graphics. And I was like, yep, I agree. Graphics are fine. Everything looks good all the time these days. I don't remember the last time I saw a game that had bad graphics.
It's like that meme where it's like generational leaps when I was a kid, and you see like the Super Nintendo to the N64 and it's completely different. And then generational leaps now, and it's like Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4 versus PS5, and it looks almost identical.
The only people that can tell the difference are Digital Foundry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for the episode today. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Tech Dweeb, for joining Rich and I for the episode. Tell everybody where they can find your stuff and what you're working on next, sir.
Oh, okay. You can find me on YouTube. Search up Tech Dweeb. I'm also on all the socials. If you can find me on YouTube, I have a link to my Straw page, and on there, in my Straw page is a link to my Twitter and Blue Sky and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
I haven't decided what I'm working on. I just finished the one today, and I was up super late last night finishing that one. So like, I woke up this morning with the job of doing the post video cleanup. And after this show, I'm going to sit down and start working on a script. I'm just going to I got a huge backlog of videos, so I'm just going to pick the one I want to work on the most. I have no pressing video. So
nice.
Yeah, whatever comes along, it'll be one that I want to work on.
Very cool. Rich, you have to work on your 50 games that you don't know about?
Yes. Yep. I will be working on that, but the next thing that'll be on my channel probably by around the time that this premieres is like that Trojan horse concept video. So talking about what we're talking about here, ARM and Steam.
Awesome. Make sure that you guys check out these guys. If you click on the subscribe button down below, their channels will pop up. So if you're already subscribed here, you can still click on that and it'll let you subscribe to Tech Dweeb and subscribe to Rich without having to go look for anything, but there'll also be links in the description down below. Thank you guys for hanging out with us for the last almost 2 hours. Had a blast talking to these guys, and we'll hopefully see you on the next one. Stay rad, everybody.
See you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.